Here's where it seems like it gives you more options, but you're teleported back to the basement for some reason. Guess it's going to be dead. Not likely. We already read this. Meg's happily doing her thing as I wander in the kitchen. Sorry, it's taking a while. Yeah. Then we asked her about the diary. She gets suspicious. There were some clues posted in the game's thread about finding the secret ending. So if I'm too dumb to figure it out, I'll just go check that. But I'm hoping I don't. Hoping I can like intuit it on my own. I'm just not sure where we would find the keys. I don't know if I should be like scrutinizing these backgrounds for things. It doesn't seem like the kind of, or that's like the kind of gameplay it is, because my options have only been limited to examining, or like clicking these and moving from room to room. So it would be a bit odd if there were other options, or other ways to advance.
Dinner will be ready soon, I promise, Ellie. Just be a little more patient with me, okay?
It's okay, Monica. I don't want you to feel rushed or anything. Just don't mind me if you see me just passing by, okay? I probably shouldn't be barging in on her so much. Not only might she get suspicious, but I can't help but wonder if I'm going to hurt her feelings. No, barge in her all the time. Where was I going? Yes, the mirror. The mirror in the basement instead of in the bathroom, but I'll try the bathroom again anyway. And let me... Basement. The basement mirror. Mark and I have been getting along, but now he's no longer a problem. Do you remember the time? Kitchen! Doctor! Can't. Living room. Yep. If you care about me, you'd understand. Gotta get her birthday. So I walk to the kitchen and met with a sad sight. Yeah, this is where she gets real sad. We know there's an option here. Alright, I'm gonna drop a save here instead. We'll possibly unwisely save it over this. Now we're gonna pick the other thing. Order to do it all over again. I'm not prepared for what happens next as Monica begins crying, unable to hold back her tears any longer. I can't stand this. This is honestly getting on my nerves. Crying about messing up the food isn't going to fix anything. Just forget about it and start over again.
You're right, Hallie. I shouldn't be wasting time sitting here crying about it. I can already imagine you're already disappointed that it's taking forever for dinner to be ready. I'm sorry you had to see that.
Crying isn't going to get anything done.
Yeah. I won't waste your time anymore. I'll do better this time. I promise.
A part of me feels like a jerk for saying all that to her, but before I can mull it over some more, I remember why I came here in the first place. Oh, before I forget, Monica, I wanted to ask you when your birthday was. This kit button has not become available. I guess this is 2 copies of the same conversation. It's bad form, my friend.
Hello, my birthday.
I mean, if we're going to be a couple, we have to know little things about each other, right? I'm pretty sure your birthday got about time about things.
Alright, I'll tell you just this once. Yep. Don't forget it now.
Got it.
How about yours?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Was that a little different last time?
Or looks like that means I'm a bit older than you, Hallie.
Oh, I guess it does. Yeah, that wasn't as affectionate of a response. I'm not going to say anything, and she looks at me for a while before turning back around.
I'd better get back to working on the food. I can't be wasting too much time when you've been waiting so patiently for me.
Right. Well, I'll leave it to it then. Alright, we've seen this part already. Why don't I go back and talk to her again? I wonder if you can also change things by not checking on her at all. Well, we know where to go for the code. Desensitized. Put in the computer code. We learn her terrible secret. Trying to get up, stumble, Look in the closet. Yep. I guess we should cut right to the chase now.
For some reason, I felt you would be different, but now, I guess my father was right. No matter how much I change, I'm still that gullible, empty-headed girl with her head in the clouds.
Her head in the clouds? She only has one head. Wait, Monica.
No, I'm not listening to any of your lies or accusations anymore, Hallie. You've shown your true colors as I've shown you mine. You're full of nothing but lies and deception. You think I'm going to give up so easily like I almost did with Mark? Well, sorry to disappoint you even more than I already have.
Monica reaches behind her desk and produces a metal bat.
My father gave this to me, saying that I should have it in case I needed it for self-protection. Who knew I'd use this against him and my mom? It was so easy, too, knocking them both out and overpowering them.
You're insane.
If I wasn't, this all probably would have or never have worked.
Bonk. Before I can dash to the door, Monica takes a mighty swing with her bat, striking me in the head and sending me falling to the floor. As I feel my world fading around me, I hear Monica say something.
That's another one for me and Mr. Bat.
Monica, no.
Oh, you're still awake? I guess I need to work on my swing more. Oh well, shut up and sleep.
I awaken to find myself in Monica's bed, with an excruciating headache and my body tied up. Monica said she did something similar to her parents, right? I guess she's become an expert at this method of capture.
How's my loving boyfriend doing on this wonderful morning?
Monica? Why?
I had a lot of high hopes for you, Hallie. Then again, that's probably my fault for having my head in the clouds so much, right? Now that you know everything, I can't set you free.
You can't do this.
Au contraire, I can and I will. You're the fourth one I've done this to.
You're one sick, twisted bitch, you know that? Before I can say anything else, Monica's back connects with my face.
That's no way to speak to your new caretaker, Hallie. Now apologize.
Make me. Monica has a nasty grin on her face as she raises the bat behind her head.
That can be arranged.
Ow. She takes a few swings at my legs, each swing getting stronger than the last.
Now, what were you saying?
Urgh.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Go to hell. Oof. That last act of defiance ended up being my last, as Monica completely lost it and unleashed her fury on me. Maybe that final act of defiance ended up being my last? As I screamed in pain with each strike from her bat, I couldn't help but wonder just how it was I fell in love with such a sick and twisted woman like her. Well, she was hiding it, man. No, she wasn't sick and twisted. At least, she wasn't always this way. There's a saying out there that life throws many challenges at you, and how you react to those challenges shows the kind of character you have. For Monica, I guess all this mental and emotional torture was too much for her. It turned some shy, timid girl into a crazy maniac with a lust for revenge. Although I can't fully understand the full extent of her pain, it drove her to do all these questionable things with little to no remorse. As I draw my last breath, I can't help but feel bad for her as we both took one last look at each other with tears in both our eyes. The worst ending. Poison Ivy. Okay. The whole thing. Ah, okay, I understand now. So that was actually the first ending. The first is the worst. And we got ending number 3, which was bad ending number 2, so this is probably bad ending number 1. Alright, well, if that was only connected to this option, then it seems pretty obvious how we can get at least 2 more. What were we doing? Were there other opportunities to talk to her? I don't remember. Meh. We went there. Okay, yeah, now we're here. Okay, yeah, now we get the other option menu. Let's save that right here. This time we're gonna run the fuck away. This isn't normal, Monica. I understand you were consumed by stress and torment. I do. This isn't the way to go about it, though.
Are you threatening me, Hallie?
No, but I can't stay here any longer.
Oh, I see. Are you going to run away, Hallie? Do you think you can get away from me? I thought you liked me. What happened to that?
That was before I knew I was in love with a psychopath.
So that's how it's going to be. You told me that you liked me. It was nothing but lies. Lies, 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 lies!
I'll do what I have must to get away from you? I think you meant I'll do what I must to get away from this app does not need to be here.
You will try.
I ran as fast as I could, never looking back. I had to get as far away from her as I possibly could. Monika was running after me, but she didn't leave her house. No matter. I shouldn't think too much about it. Just the thought of being together with that crazed murderer was enough to send a chill down my spine. I got out of the house, running as fast as my legs could carry me. After some time, I was nearly tripping over myself from exhaustion, but I didn't dare look back. Finally, I had to take a break. That's when I heard a familiar voice from behind me.
Oh, Hallie, I got you!
I turn around, finding myself face to face with the demented, sinister grin Monika had on her face. How about the demented, sinister grin of Monika? Ow. Why, Monika, why? Bad end 1. And I ran. Alright, well that wasn't too hard to get. So let's see what happens when we embrace her. Literally and figuratively. Stay by Monika's side. The same feelings that drove me to confess to Monika take me over again as I rush over to Monika and throw my arms around her, holding her as tight as I could, as if the world around us were crumbling around us. How about just the world around us was crumbling? Monika freezes in my embrace.
What? Hallie, what are you doing? Don't you get it? I'm a murderer. If you stay with me, you're probably going to end up being arrested or even dead. Don't you understand that?
Monika's voice trembles and cracks as she bursts into tears. You didn't intentionally murder your parents, Monika. I know that from hearing you and from your diary. These feelings are natural, and it's what makes you human inside, although I am going to say I don't agree with how you handled this situation.
You're not going to run away?
No. I can't leave you alone like this. Not when you don't have anyone else in this world that you can trust or lean on.
Oh, Hallie.
Monika is overwhelmed by her tears as she returns my embrace, squeezing me tightly as if I were all she had left in this world. In a tragic sense, maybe I am all she has left in this world. I know she was driven insane by the constant stress and pressure she felt, but that was because no one ever tried to get to know her, the real Monika. The true Monika. Not even her parents seem to care about her, which truly hurts and disgusts me inside.
Oh, Hallie, what am I going to do? I messed up. That's putting it lightly. If I were to lose you now, I'd be alone all over again. I can't go back to that way of life. I'd probably end up with my parents and Mark if I end up alone this time. I have to atone for what I've done. I need to apologize to them for everything that I...
Monika struggles to talk through her tears. I hold on to her even more, gently stroking her back. I'm not going to leave you, Monika. I love you. The real you. As I said, I'm not too thrilled with the idea of what happened to your parents, but you didn't fail them, Monika. They failed you. Parents are supposed to raise you, support you, and make you who you are today. As far as I can see, they didn't do any of that. Well, I mean, depending on how you look at it, they kind of made her who she is today. If anything, they drove you to this dark and twisted state. That's no excuse for your actions, mind you, but we can work through this.
What do you mean?
Well, I know it's not going to be simple, but we'll find a way.
I just wanted my mom and dad to praise me, to love me, to accept me for who I am. Why did it turn out this way?
God, that mouth just doesn't work on her. Because they failed you, Monika.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I didn't say anything further. Monika continued crying, and I simply continued to hold on to her tightly, as if she would float away from me the moment I let go. With the way she's talking, I almost feel like something would happen to her, and she would end up with her parents again. I can't let that happen. This poor girl is so damaged and hurt inside. I can't just leave her like this. She seriously doesn't have anyone else left in this world. I can't help but wonder if, just maybe, I was able to give her that sense of acceptance and understanding she so desired and was often denied. I stayed with her that whole night. I know it's not going to be simple, but I want to work things out with her and help her get through this. We'll find a way together. Time will heal her broken and troubled heart, and I will be with her every step of the way. "2 years later? What is this, her?"
This is such a wonderful place, Hallie. How did you hear about it?
Well, let's just say a little birdie named Sayori told me about it one day.
She's always such a sweetheart. Although, I can't help but wonder how Megan's uncle is going to do now. What? How Megan's uncle is going to do now that there's some competition around here?
Maybe. How doesn't fit? Make it what?
Well, I can't deny that this place is wonderful. I'd like to see about coming here more often now that we know about it.
I look at her, saying nothing and smiling at her.
What is it?
Nothing. It's just... Remember what I said 2 years ago?
About what?
About your smile. About how I never want to see you stop smiling.
Oh, that's right.
Me.
Well, I have every reason to smile when I have someone as wonderful as you in my life, Hallie. I'm no longer lonely, so long as you remain on my side for the rest of our days.
After that night 2 years ago, Monica continuously cried her eyes out to me every evening when I would visit her after school. I never wanted to give up on her. I wanted to give her the support and love that she needed. I had to make sure she never did anything to take her life. I wanted her to live. I wanted her to find and make the life she wanted for herself, as she described in her diary. Eventually, Monica became to come to terms with what she had done, but this sentence is still wrong. Eventually, Monica began to come to terms, is what you want that to say. I still don't approve of what happened, but we both understand it only happened as a result of the self-destructive path her parents set her on. You are so beautiful.
Well, maybe it's because I'm so in love.
No, maybe it's because I'm so in love with you.
So love has blinded you?
No, that's not what I mean, Monica.
You're such a dork sometimes.
After we sorted out some of the rather messy details, Monica began to genuinely show signs of happiness, knowing she had someone who loved and accepted her as she was. 2 years later, we are still a couple, so deeply in love and devoted to one another. Monica has never expressed any desire to take her own life since then, nor has she devolved back to her dark and twisted self, born out of pain and torment. She was smiling more and more, regaining her happiness, and slowly showing signs of the parts of her she claims to have done away with. She no longer feared what people would think of her if she was not perfect. She was at ease. She was at peace. She could finally love herself, the way I love her more and more every day. I'll always be here to make you happy. Monica, why is this comma here? I'll always be here to make you happy. Monica, I promise you.
What brought this up all of a sudden?
Nothing. I just wanted to make sure you never forget.
Trust me, I will never forget what you've done for me. All the times we spent together and how you've shown me nothing but love and compassion. I'm forever grateful to have such a wonderful man in my life, Hallie.
Monica is fighting back tears of happiness as we get up and leave. We find a nice place to sit down in a park nearby after walking around for a little while. As I plop myself on the bench, Monica gets close to me and rests her head on my shoulder. She closes her eyes and smiles as she begins singing softly to herself.
Could it be you, or do I lose my way? I'm here but colorblind. Could it be you, or do I break away? So leave the past behind. I only want to feel the sunlight, stop the fight, and see it in your eyes. Wish I just knew what I should do. Could it be you? Somebody tell me if it's true. I don't have a clue. Could it be you?
If that was a song reference, I didn't know it. True End. Original me. Aww. Chibi's now available. Aw, there's only one to get coding, guys. Come on, you were doing so well.